Time to get our first pre-final underway. 10 minutes plus 2 additional laps. Here is your starting grid. Yesemunen will start from pole position. He'll be joined by the 78 of Conor Halfer on the front row. Lasse van der Weyde and Hossein Al-Husseini will round out row number 2 in numbers 26 and 6 respectively. The number 14 of Kenji Schreurs will be joined by the number 5 of Quinten Grimes on row number 3. Maxime Ball in the number 1 will be joined by Adrian Krogel in the number 17 on row 4. Completing your top 10 will be the number 7 of Julian van der Poel and the number 81 of Henry Moyart. Ian Halfer, Mick Echtelt, Leonard Marks and Amisio Zani round out the 14-strong grid. So not that long ago, the Grand Finals tickets were awarded to all our respective top runners. If I remember correctly, it was Circuit de Lansard earlier on this year. And the Grand Finals are not that far away. It heads to the Persian Gulf, to the Kingdom of Bahrain and the Bahrain International Karting Circuit. Oh dear, Maxime Ball has just gone for a 360 spin, coming out of turn number 11. As the drivers will now head onto their formation lap. The Grand Finals will be taking place, if I remember correctly, between November the 27th and December the 6th this year. And it'll be the third time in 5 years that the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals will have been hosted by that particular location in the Middle East. It was a wonderful facility. And that will also all be live streamed live and direct from that locality. Air temperature currently 11 degrees Celsius. Wind to the north-northeast, 18 kilometers an hour. And more to the point, well, there's something always different about particular championships. And one of the big things is, if people might not remember, if we have 2 full starts, the counter starts ticking down, and we will have that on every single race here today. So for all the Rotax racing classes, including DD2 and DD2 Masters, it will be a rolling start. KZ2 and KZ2 Masters will be Formula 1 styles, so from a standing start, due to the severe amount of torque that is produced through the rear axles with the 6-speed shifter karts. So Yesemunen on pole position, Conor Halfer alongside on the front row. The red lights are on the gantry here on Championship Sunday. We'll concentrate on the points in the finals a little bit later on. But with glare coming off of the slightly saturated surface here at the home of champions, it is time to go racing one more time here in this wonderful facility. Into the tram lines, revs rise. Do the lights go out? No, we're going to get the signal for another formation lap. So full start has been called. And so the red lights stay on. And the drivers have got to be very, very careful they don't start trading sidewall rubber at this point, because they're not even racing yet. But it was a very, very good lap from Yesemunen yesterday afternoon. The last couple of sessions in qualifying we did have under the floodlights here. So Micromax, minimum weight 105 kilos. And if they are on the wet tyres, they will be on the Mojo CW CIKs. And drivers from 7 to 11 years of age. Also, a big thank you to the sponsors of the live stream. VAG Technique, the specialists in chip tuning, maintenance and overhaul for your vehicle. And they're passionate about delivering high-quality technical solutions that improve driving experience and optimize your vehicle's performance. They're one of the market leaders in chip tuning, and they offer tailor-made solutions that maximize your torque, efficiency, and power. More importantly, at the engine underneath your bonnet of your car. So with the sun blazing down from the Sunday skies above, it is the second time of asking for these 14 young, hopeful superstars of the future. We've had many a driver come through the ranks here at chrono karting that have gone on to bigger and better things. And this is the class where it all starts. So the red lights are on the gantry. Will we go lights out this time? If not, the counter starts ticking down from 10 minutes. And it's a steady pace, organised by Jesse Moonen and Connor Halfer on the front row, into the tram lines. Here we go, revs rise. Are we lights out? Yes, we are. The counter starts ticking as a good start from Jesse Moonen. Lasse van der Velde gets through on Connor Halfer, who dives straight back up on the inside. But oh dear, the number 14 of Kenji Schreurs spins backwards and was very, very lucky indeed not to get collected. As we've got an overtake, and that was, I think, the number 7, possibly Julian van der Poel on Quinten Kreins, as Jesse Moonen leads the field into turn 5 off of the Europlan for the first time. Orsina Hosseini now up into P, is trying to go for P3, as Lasse van der Velde has to get on the defensive coming out of turn number 7 through 8. And now into the left-hand sweeping hairpin here at turn 9. But already, Jesse Moonen has started to build a little bit of an advantage as they go down through into the right-hand sweeper here at Cafe Corner at turn 10. Drivers leaning onto the left-hand side as they turn right in order to get the traction on the left side tyres and to maximise the grip on that side. And you see how deep all the field are going into turn number 12 as they come out of 13, and Jesse Moonen's gap is absolutely huge at the moment. And it's 1.4 seconds after the opening lap. Connor Halfer, Lasse van der Velde, Hossein Al Hosseini, Maxime Ball rounds out the top 5, has moved up 2 places. So at this time, things could be, well, change could be afoot as the number 14 of Kenji Schreurs now gets a really, really good amount of traction coming out of turn number 2 and is closing in on Adrian Krogel in the number 17 Praga chassis just up ahead. So again, this does just showcase how quickly the drivers will move forward over the course of the track evolution. We're down to 7 minutes and 3/4 plus an additional 2 laps, not an additional 1 lap like you see in a lot of other competitions that run to a time-based structure. Looks like there was a bit of a throw to the outside at turn number 9, and there you can see how significant, you know, with the camera position trying to lock into people coming into turn 10, the glare that's coming upwards from the surface itself is quite significant. As now Connor Halfer defending from Lasse van der Velde, and they were about a tenth of a second, less than a tenth of a second apart. Van der Velde gets through. Connor Halfer now starts to retaliate and gets towards the outside of turn number 2, gets a bit sideways round the outside. That was a good move by Connor Halfer. Just managed to catch the back end of the Formula K kart as it swung to the right-hand side. But now, Al Hosseini now makes it 2's company goes to 3 a crowd in the battle for second position. As Jesse Moonen is clearing off into the distance, a gap now of 3.1 seconds. Al Hosseini going tight to the apex into turn number 9 on Van der Velde, who keeps it pinned to the outside, gets the traction down, puts the throttle down as well at the same point. Al Hosseini up the inside through at turn 10, and Van der Velde still able to keep that traction and stay ahead of the number 6, who's really wrestling with the steering wheel at the moment. Lennart Marx, in the meantime, started 13th on the grid and now is currently running P8. But the gap that Jesse Moonen has got is quite significant now. And that gap is 3.8 seconds and climbing. So we've got just under 6 minutes to go of this opening pre-final of the season finale here at Chrono Karting. Van der Velde really closing in on Conor Halford through turn 3, now into 4. Can the number 26 on the CS55 chassis, that's the brand endorsed by none other than current Atlassian Williams F1 driver, Carlos Sainz. Al Hosseini dives the inside of Van der Velde through at turn 6 off the Europalan. And Van der Velde and Al Hosseini, I think, just tussled wheels. And the number 26 stays ahead still. I have to give Al Hosseini a lot of credit here. Just go constantly on the offensive and trying everything that he can to get through on Lasse Van der Velde. But Van der Velde really putting the elbows out and keeping that third position at the moment. But whilst this is happening, it's now allowing Conor Halford to pull away into the distance. Not by much, I might add, as the number 81 of Henry Moyot coming out of turn number 11 had the back end completely sideways to the right and then turned right to counteract it and caught the slide rather nicely. With 4.5 minutes to go, Jesse Moonen has just put in a 1 minute 20.086. That was over a second quicker than Halfa, Van der Velde and Al Hosseini, who are running in the between a 121.2 and a 121.4. Mick Echtelt, in the meantime, in the number 11, who started 12th on the grid, is down to 14th and is about half a second behind Ian Halfa in the number 28. Meantime, as there's a battle for P5, Maxime Ball defending against Julian van der Poel on the Sodi kart. Maxime Ball, the back end steps out to the left-hand side. Van der Poel nearly dives through at turn number 8. But at this point through turn 9, decides to stay in the wheel tracks of the number 1 from Belgium as they go down the short run into turn 10 at Cafe Corner. And can Van der Poel on the Sodi kart try and find a way through? Meantime, Jesse Moonen now completes lap number 5. Van der Poel might have just gotten the over-under done on Maxime Ball, not quite. Conor Halfa now 6 seconds behind Jesse Moonen in the battle for P2 as we have 3 minutes on the timer. A little bit of a touch from behind by the 26. Halfa bumps over the curves through turn 2. And Van der Velde trying to see if he could get the launch around the outside through at turn 3. Halfa shut the door very quickly. Moved across just to anticipate that from happening. And Van der Velde goes deep. Comes out of turn 5 onto the Europalan and gets to the whole shot. And now he's going to look to the inside of Conor Halfa through into turn number 6. And Van der Velde gets through. Runs a little bit deep. This now brings Al Hosseini into the battle for P2 once again. And once more, Van der Velde goes wide at turn 8. And Halfa's going to get the inside line here for turn 9. Van der Velde, is he going to be on the power early enough? Yes, he is. That's a great move. And Al Hosseini might get the run on Conor Halfa through into turn 10. Dives to the inside and is through. Great little exchange between these three young drivers as, again, that gap is still extending further. It's probably going to be the best part of 6.5 seconds plus at the moment as Jesse Moonen completes lap number 6. We're on to lap 7 with just under 2 minutes to go. And it's 7.2 seconds. Oh, that's 3 tussles between Al Hosseini, who's already had an official warning yesterday in qualifying and is diving to the inside of Conor Halfa, who is, I'm sure, very frustrated with the number 6. And it wasn't just once there was a little bit of contact between the two. It was 2 or 3 times. Now, you can understand that there's always going to be that little bit of loss of traction when you're trying to be under braking. And Conor Halfa, well, Al Hosseini's just gesticulated at the German. But the thing is that what Conor Halfa was frustrated at was the the contact that actually happened. It wasn't just once, twice or three times. Al-Hosseini, I think, has just pulled off the circuit. Now, was there a technical drama for the number 6 on the Birolart? And that is now P3 gone, I'm afraid, for the number 6. Meantime, Yesemunen is getting on with the business at hand and is clearing a big amount of light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. So 3 laps to go, and Yesemunen's lead after 7 laps is now 7.4 seconds. So, and along with Hossein Al-Hosseini, we've also had a DNF in the form of Leonard Marks, who retired on lap number 5. But Yesemunen has controlled every single moment of this race. Started from pole position and has done exactly what he's needed to do. Right, time has expired. So we have 2 more laps remaining of this 1.36 kilometre circuit. And, well, just seen by the live timing that 3-second penalty for the number 6 of Hossein Al-Hosseini, second official warning. We did get that in qualifying yesterday afternoon, but it is going to be 2 laps to go for Yesemunen, who is very much been unchallenged in this race. The moment that Conor Halfer was under threat from Lasse van der Weide, who's now ahead in the number 26. Well, 2 laps remaining. Yesemunen just puts in a 1 minute 19.865. The gap was 7.4 seconds after 7 laps. After 8 laps, it's 7.8 seconds and climbing. Good solid run by the number 10, the younger sibling of Yesemunen. You can just see how calm Jesse is behind the wheel. Even though running deep into turn 5 at the Europlan, is able to use the minimal amount of steering wheel correction required to catch the kart from over-rotating when running deep into turn 5 at the Europlan, and then point it in the right direction, put the power down, wait until the last moment possible so you don't you don't overcommit with the throttle, because one early application can over-rotate those wheels and spin the kart round quicker than you can say the word jump. But what a run it has been for the number 10 from Belgium, and a nice little casual drift coming through turn number 12 out of turn 13. Final lap underway for Yesemunen, and the number 10 will have a considerable advantage over Lasse van der Weide in the number 26. That gap is now 8 seconds. And Lasse van der Weide on that previous tour set a personal best to 1 minute 20.024. Conor Halfer in P3. Maxime Ball, who is now best part of 5.5 seconds behind, is running in P4. Good work by Julian van der Poel and Henry Meujert. They've both moved up 4 places, as Amisio Zani has dropped down into 10th position, having started stone dead last. But what a stellar performance by the number 10 of Yesemunen on the Haas chassis. Out of turn number 11 for the final time. 2 more corners to negotiate, turns 12 and 13, and it will be the checkered flag this time around. Yesemunen casually drifting through turn number 12, comes out of the final corner and will commandingly take the win here in this last pre-final for Micromax and Micromax rookie Lasse van der Weide in the number 26, top rookie, and more to the point, P2, 8.5 seconds behind Conor Halfer, P3. Maxime Ball takes 4th, having fended off and put a bit of distance between himself and the number 7 of James van der Poel. Henry Meujert in 6th. Kenji Schreurs will be the 4th highest placed rookie in this division, ahead of the fast charging number 17 Praga of Adrian Krogel. And then Quinten Krains. Well, it's Emizio Zani that takes 9th. So Quinten Krains having a bit of a drama, I believe, in the number 5 towards the end. Ian Halford takes 10th. And Mick Echtelt rounds out your top 12. And with Hossein Al-Husseini now unfortunately retiring on lap 6, Leonard Marks completes the finishing order, retiring on lap number 5. But an 8.5 second winning margin shows domination by Belgium's Jesse Moonen in the Micromax and Micromax Rookie pre-final.